to you by...
There are few things more terrifying to me than what the Evil Dead films present. The idea of something so horrific consuming those that I love most, and leaving me no other choice than to brutally and violently murder them in order to free them from everlasting torment. It's what I think draws me so heavily to the franchise, allowing me to face a fear that I don't think I otherwise could. Now, there has always been a factor that kept this fear at arm's length. The fact that these films were primarily set in the woods, far from civilization, at least until now. Hello, friends, and welcome back to ETF. The Evil Dead franchise has been a staple in the horror genre, and in my life, and in the lives of many horror fans for at least over 4 decades. Let's put it this way, longer than I have been alive. The series has undergone numerous transformations, from the low-budget cult classic of the original film to the larger-than-life heroics of Ash Williams in the sequels and television series. In 2022, the franchise took another leap forward, with Evil Dead Rise, a new chapter that promised to bring the horrors out of the woods and into our homes. Directed by Lee Cronin, Evil Dead Rise follows 2 sisters, played by Alyssa Sutherland and Lily Sullivan, who become trapped in an apartment building filled with demonic forces. As they fight for survival, they must confront their deepest fears and traumas. This promised to be a thrilling and intense viewing experience, as audiences would be taken on a journey into the darkest corners of the human psyche. And I have to say, it didn't disappoint. Evil Dead Rise is the 5th installment of the Evil Dead film franchise. The film was originally set for a streaming-only release on HBO Max, but was later switched to a theatrical release because of positive test screenings. Production on Evil Dead Rise began in New Zealand in June of 2022. The film was shot on location in Auckland and Wellington. The production team used a variety of locations, including a dilapidated apartment building, a rundown hotel, and a forest. The film's special effects were created by a team of artists from Weta Workshop, the same company that created the special effects for Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. The film is a departure from the previous films in the series in a few ways. First, it is set in a city rather than the woods. Second, it focuses on 2 estranged sisters rather than a group of friends. Third, it features an entirely new cast of characters, including children. Despite these changes, Evil Dead Rise still retains the core elements of the franchise: gore, suspense, and a healthy dose of camp. The film is also notable for its strong female leads, who are not only capable of fighting off demons, but also of providing emotional support for each other. On a psychological level, Evil Dead Rise can be interpreted as a story about the dangers of family dysfunction. Our 2 protagonists are estranged because of their traumatic childhood, and their reunion is quickly overshadowed by the threat of the Deadites. The film suggests that family can be a source of both strength and weakness, and that it is important to confront the demons of the past in order to move forward. One of the most interesting aspects of Evil Dead Rise is its exploration of fear. Fear is a powerful emotion that can paralyze us and prevent us from taking action. The film's exploration of trauma is also a key theme. Trauma is a complex and difficult topic to explore in any medium, but horror films have a unique ability to delve into the darkest corners of the human psyche. Throughout this film, the sisters experience trauma from their past, which is brought to the surface as they confront the demonic entities in the apartment building. The use of practical effects in the film enhances the psychological impact of the horror. The practical effects, such as prosthetics, animatronics, and makeup, are often used in horror films to create a sense of realism and immersion. This can be particularly effective in creating a psychological impact on the audience, as the characters and creatures on screen feel more tangible and real, making them easier for us to believe. The use of practical effects here are particularly effective. Furthermore, the film's female-led cast added an interesting dynamic to the exploration of fear and trauma. Horror films have often been criticized for their treatment of female characters, but this film offers a refreshing departure from this trend. The two sisters' relationship is the center of the film. They are strong and capable despite the terrifying situation that they find themselves in. Granted, one of them is our protagonist, the other is possessed by a demon the entire film. But I feel that makes the trauma of their past and their ability to confront it throughout this situation all the more harrowing. Prior to the film's release, Cronin stated that the film was to focus on suspense and scares, more than the over-the-top gore and dark humor of the earlier films, which I think he actually ended up bringing us a healthy blend of both. There is definitely an attempt to drive this film more into a dark and terrifying experience, rather than a slapstick, wacky gore fest. However, we get plenty of both. He blends those moments of wackiness and grotesqueries with some real dark shit that I did not expect to see in a film like this, but I feel it made the experience all the more enjoyable. The visual look and tone of Evil Dead Rise are both dark and gritty. As I said, the film is set in a dilapidated apartment building in Los Angeles, and the cinematography captures the urban decay of the city quite well. The film's tone is also dark and suspenseful, with a healthy drizzle of gore throughout almost every scene. Cronin has said that he wanted to create a film that felt real and grounded. He wanted the film to feel like it could actually happen, and he wanted the audience to feel like they were right there in the thick of it with the characters. To achieve this, Cronin used a lot of handheld camera work and natural lighting. He also used a lot of close-ups, and extreme close-ups, to put the audience right in the characters' fucking faces. This creates a sense of claustrophobia and unease, which is perfect for a horror film. For me, this was a sign of good things to come. Not only are Raimi, Campbell, and Tappert seeking out filmmakers who are willing to bring their own ideas and elements to the franchise, but they are willing to take these concepts that I love into new and exciting territories. In fact, we recently just got an announcement that we have 2 new films in production. The first being titled Evil Dead Burn. I cannot wait to see where this franchise goes in the future. Like fans of Star Wars and the MCU, I don't really care what they decide to do with it. I just want more Evil Dead. Well, friends, that's going to be all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you skipped Evil Dead Rise, please go give it a chance. I will link a physical release down in the description so you can add this one to your collection. You really just need to own all the Evil Dead films. They're all amazing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe for more content, and if you really want to help support this channel, please come find us on Patreon. Every little bit helps this channel grow and gets us closer to that goal of being able to make videos like these for you full time. Who knows? Maybe your support will help me cover all of those films that you have all been waiting for me to cover. You know, all the classics that everybody talks about. I avoid them because everyone else does it. But if you help support the channel, maybe that'll free up some time so I can actually do them. Just saying. Until next time, stay safe. If an earthquake opens up a crack in the floor that leads to a hidden vault containing possessed books, don't fucking touch them! And as always, thanks for watching.